Welcome back to another episode of the Sweet Shots podcast. Lucas Johnson alongside Mark Johnson. We're back. 2/3 of us anyway. 1/3 of us decided it's a great day to go play some golf. So can't be too mad. I mean, it is a beautiful day outside. You got to go play golf because in 6 months, we're handcuffed a little bit.
6 months?
Not even.
A few months from now.
Yeah.
And that's been the story. We've had a little hiatus. We took a summer break. And primarily it's been because golf schedules.
We've just been crazy. But that and I think I got married end of June.
You got married.
I was MIA for a while.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
By the way, officially on air. Congratulations. But I'm telling you, the summer's just been busy.
Yes.
Seems like Tuesdays have been either with events going on here or things you're playing in or, community scramble fundraisers. Just seems like every Tuesday we had something going, which is good. It's a busy time of year and it's fun to get outside and do that. So, but we're back in here. It's going to be fun to talk a little golf. There's a lot going on.
A lot. Yeah. Just like you said, I mean, not only have we been busy, but it seems like everybody else has been busy too. I mean, not only the national stuff, the PGA Tour, whatever, but locally too. I mean, now it's prime tournament season. We'll get into a little bit of that because there's been some great tournament golf being played. But quickly, I mean, it's crazy to think about it, but you've got North Dakota High School girls golf started last week already.
Yes.
And it's like, how is this here already?
But they've got it right. They're playing golf. Their season it's beautiful out right now. The golf courses are in great shape.
Yep.
So, I mean, North Dakota High School girls golf, having that in the fall, my opinion, they've got it figured out.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, the only downside would be state has a question mark by it as to what kind of weather you're going to get. It might be a little chilly, but I mean, to your point, golf courses are going to be primed, ready to go.
And you think of the season the boys had this last spring or lack of season.
Lack of.
I mean, we hosted a tournament here for goodness sake because the golf courses and the weather just didn't cooperate.
Yep.
So fall golf makes sense. And yeah, it's early in their season. I looked at some results. I think Red River won last week. If there was a meet on Friday, I think they're playing the East-West tournament this week in Jamestown. That's an annual big event where folks, girls teams from the West and the East get together. So kind of a preview almost for like a state tournament.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun to kind of keep an eye now that we're back at this and see how that high school season goes.
Yeah. And I know there's some great talent out there and, it's always fun for them, I think, to be able to play and compete and to have that team atmosphere. And I know between Jim and myself working with a handful of gals that are playing high school golf, it's fun to watch them develop and become better players throughout the season. So
yes,
it's been really, really good stuff. But quickly pivoting, you got one of the bigger tournaments of the summer, at least in the area, just wrapped up on Sunday, and that's the Pine to Palm down in DL, Detroit Lakes. And having played it, I played the course probably the week before, but the golf course itself just looked spectacular. Greens were rolling fantastic. Everything was green, lush. And then the golf on top of that was really, really good. I think that was maybe the lowest championship cut.
3 over?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough cut. 2 days of golf, 3 over par.
Really?
And you shoot, what is that? You shoot 73, 73 and you're not playing?
Right.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Well, and there was, I forget who I was talking to, but the comment was made. There's a lot of guys that are going to be ended up playing mid-am next year because the cut's so low now at championship,
Yes. And then that'll trickle, all of a sudden that the mid-am cut's been a tough cut anyways.
Yeah.
And then that's going to make it even more difficult. So the field it's strong. It's really strong. Visiting with Tom Dolby, new professional there. He has some ideas. But he has some ideas on what they could do to modify perhaps what they do in qualifying to, so you're not sent packing if you're 3 over par after 2 days. But it's a testament to how good, guys are getting.
And I will say they got pretty adventurous with some of those pin locations this year. I was caddying and there for a while, and there were some spots where I don't think I've ever seen pin locations in my history playing Pine to Palm. That was
agreed. Yeah, they moved him around. They tucked him a little bit, so you had to play smart. And it didn't phase guys. I mean, guys that were in control of their golf balls still played well. I mean, there was a match. It was a Gavin, was he 9 under through 12?
I heard 9 under through 12, yeah.
9 under through 12. I caddied for a guy that was 9 under through 12 once in a match. So it can happen out there, and you hear about it each year. But yeah, to get to some of those pins, you couldn't short side yourself because it was probably going to be a bogey. Mm-hmm. And so play smart, play to fat of the greens and make some putts. But those greens look beautiful. Like you said, the golf course was great. I was out there Sunday. I refereed this super senior match, championship match, as well as consolation match. And the greens had that sound to them. Even though they had some moisture out there on Friday, they still had that. They landed. It was firm. It wasn't just splat. It was really good. If you were in the fairway, you know what? You benefited from being in the fairway. In the rough, your ball was going to release a little bit, and fun to watch those guys have to play a golf course under a little more firm conditions than maybe in the past.
Yeah, and that's where you kind of alluded to it, but having to think your way around that golf course, it's not just something that you can grab your driver and just bomb away, and it's a flip wedge to the center of the green. I like what they did with the pin locations because it made you think. That it gives that golf course a little more of a defense mechanism when you look at it, and I think with Gavin being 9 under through 12, I mean, sometimes everything clicks, right? Everything's just on. And, there's that golf course, you can do that, right? And then there's a flip side where all of a sudden you start short-siding yourself or you get caught in the trees one too many times. I mean, that's where it's a great equalizer, that golf course. And you and I, we've made many a laps around that track and have seen good and bad, and it's a great match play golf course. I love that setup.
Yep, it is. And you look at I'm trying to think who was Sunday morning. Pat Dietz.
Yeah,
Pat Dietz was a semifinalist. Lost in extra holes to Gavin.
Yep.
Some of those matches out there. There's some talent. Gavin probably hits it. I don't know, 320.
Yeah, at least.
He's a 300-yard carry guy. And Pat hits it nice, but he's not a 300-yard carry guy.
Right.
And he's been playing forever out there, but that's a golf course he can compete on.
Right.
It's fun. It's fun to see.
Yeah.
Anybody can beat anybody. So congratulations to Gavin Cronkhite, of course, at North Dakota State. What year is he at NDSU?
He's going to be a senior this year.
Be a senior.
Yep.
He's been on fire this summer.
He has, and he's had a great career. Coming, he's from, oh man, I wanted to say Chaska, but it's not Chaska now, and he's gonna hate that I don't remember. But he came in, he was a freshman my senior year, and to watch him develop all 4 years now, has just been awesome. And to see what he's done, he's really, really turned into a great golfer. He was already a great golfer, but really found his game. And for him to kind of make a statement like that at the Pine and go 9 under through 12 and carry that into the fall season here for the NDSU team is going to be really, really fun to watch.
Was he the medalist too?
He was the medalist.
They
were co-medalists.
Okay.
He and Ian
Birdwell?
Simonich.
Oh, Simi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I feel pretty confident saying that.
We probably could have looked that up. So I have a funny story. I'm with Tom Dolby on the 12th hole at DL. It's par 5. Water off the tee. It's 290 to get to the water, maybe. Yep. I think it was 285 to that tree left and maybe 290 to get to the water. I forget his first name. Last name is Birdwell. Great golf name. Birdwell. I think he's committed to go to Illinois.
Yep.
Which, top 10 program.
Easily, yep.
Saw him play last year, and then I caught him on that match, and he was in the consolation championship. So I forget who beat him earlier in the tournament. But anyways, on 12, we were talking about if he was going to hit driver or not. And sure enough, he hit driver. He carried it over the water on the right. For those that have played DL, he carried that water, and there was no wind. It was before it started raining. It was just starting to rain. Carried that, and it was kind of almost into the grove of trees to the right.
On the right side there.
To the right side there, which he was probably, I don't know, about 130 yards out, maybe 120 yards, but he's completely blocked from the trees.
Right.
And Tom and I were talking. I said, Tom, he can chip this backwards and still have sand wedge into this par 5. And that's exactly what he did. He came out sideways or backwards. He probably had
a little flip wedge in there.
He made par. But still, as long as guys are hitting it now, the play might be. And we talked about this year last year playing. We're like, because you maybe accidentally pumped a fairway wood into the water, and still made par.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what? Maybe the play here is just bomb driver up the left side. And if you're in the water, you knock a little 8-iron up there. Not even an 8-iron. It's probably a wedge.
Yeah, it depends on where you go in, but yeah, it's anywhere from
par.
a wedge to an 8-iron. But yeah, I mean, that's where, the game has changed so much around that area or that golf course, right? I mean, you got guys like Birdwell that absolutely bomb it. They're going to hit it over the water. And then you got guys like a Pat Dietz, right? That, you're going to hit or just a different mental go about where you're going to hit a 3-4 iron out there and you're going to have 3-4 iron left into the green and see what happens, right?
Yes.
And it's just that's why that golf course is so great. It opens up so many opportunities with how aggressive you want to be or what your game plan is going to be. Where can you secure that birdie, especially in match play? Where can you secure that birdie?
Yeah.
And that's why it's fun. Stories like that are great. I'm interested to see, 6 at DL, that the downhill par 4. I mean, that used to be driver for everyone. Now guys can't even touch the driver. They're going to go 3-wood, and even some of those guys hit 3-wood too far.
Yeah,
right.
Unless it's into the wind.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, it's changing out there. And
I think Tom and the guys out there, they have some ideas for a few new tee boxes.
Oh, really?
I won't go into detail, but he showed me a couple spots. I'm like, yeah, okay,
it's got a chance.
That's interesting. You're never going to make that golf course 7,000 yards, but there's a couple ideas they have for tee boxes that would change some of the tee shots, and I think for the better.
Yeah,
be kind of neat. So I mentioned I had a chance to referee the super senior. I can't believe these guys are super senior. So it was Mike Herzog taking on his older brother, Steve Herzog. Now, these guys, I used to qualify with them. For whatever reason, a couple years in a row, I was paired with them on the Pine qualifying in the 80s. And so it really brought back a lot of memories. And they played it was a really nice match. Steve got up early with a birdie, but Mike made, I think the article said 16 par, and I was keeping track of it. So there's a match where, he just literally parred him to death. Just don't make a mistake. Sometimes matches go that way.
Oh, yeah.
You just never know. But it was great golf. They played really, really nice, high-level golf. Just impressed with their ball striking. And then the consolation match, another legend, Pine legend, George Strand, was in the consolation championship against Bob Sumata. I had not met before. He's from the Twin Cities. We ended up having a lot of mutual friends, or a number of mutual friends, but he has a lake place in the area. And what a joy just to watch those guys play. George has been playing that tournament. I think he said it was his 41st Pine to Palm. Wow. Played in 41. And for a good part of a decade back in the day, the 80s, and you could set the cut line to whatever George shot. I think he was in the playoff for a decade straight. So we had a good laugh about that. He found a way into the playoff all the time. And Bob beat George. Bob played really, really, really steady golf. So that was kind of fun to be around that. And then Moorhead golf product, Mark Eklund won the senior championship, which is not easy to do. A lot of good players. Yeah. Mark's been a solid player since I remember him playing back in the day when I was at the Meadows. And so congratulations, Mark Eklund, being the senior champion.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, there's a ton of great golf being played this last week anywhere you look, whether it's the championship all the way to the super seniors. And that's part of the reason why that tournament's so fun. That routing is so fun. You can hang out by the golf shop and you see how much golf being played, whether it's championship or whoever's playing. It's a great, great week of golf. It's always kind of one of those deals, though. It's the Pine to Palm hits, and it just feels like fall for whatever reason. It's like now we're into fall.
Yeah, it is. It kind of ushers in, school starts for many next week. And it definitely, you flip the page a little bit.
It is. And we're going to get into it, but you got the North Dakota Open that starts next week. That's at Fargo Country Club. And for whatever reason, it's still in August, but it just feels like fall golf. Yes. I don't know how long I've been playing it, but it's like once North Dakota, it's fall golf. It's not summer golf anymore. It's fall golf. And it's just kind of funny how that feels. It feels like the brain just kind of switches there a little bit. And but yeah, I mean, it's crazy how that happens. Where does the time go,
It does. This summer especially goes quickly, especially in the first part of your summer, you're getting married.
Yeah.
So you're just from the time the snow melt to the time you exchange your vows, I'm sure it's a blur.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really remember the second half of June and the first half of July, just between travel and there was a golf tournament mixed in there, and a wedding, all this stuff, and it's just all a blur.
What tournament? So you came back from not playing hardly any golf because of getting married and then honeymoon and whatnot. Was that the State Open?
Minnesota State Open.
Yeah, you had a good tournament.
It was. I surprised myself even because we came back from our honeymoon. We celebrated the 4th of July with both our families. Came back. I had about 3 days to get ready and drove down to the cities and played golf. I joked because I hadn't played in at that point it was about a month. I hadn't played golf. I'd taken swings, hadn't played golf, but I joked that my first round I shot 71, which was even par, and to me mentally it felt like a 67. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, that was the best round of golf I could have played today, And to piece together three good rounds and make a check and make the cut and just gave me a lot of confidence going forward for the summer, and here we are.
Does that make you exempt next year too?
Yep.
Are you in?
Yep.
Good.
So and get into a few more stuff. I had a chance to qualify for a PGA Tour Canada event with that finish. I'll get into the
Golf Champions. Does that get you in the Golf Champions?
Should. Yep.
Or last year's finish probably got you in Golf Champions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so you got some opportunities to play.
Yeah, so and it's been nice. I think I've played more golf this summer than I did last summer, which was it's really nice. The game feels close. It always feels close, but you just got to get it to click again, and then it's right back where we need it. So gearing up for the North Dakota Open. I know this is a great week of the year. Fargo Country Club, the host facility. I know you were there for 15 years as well as a tournament director for North Dakota Open. Now being the tournament director, how early does this start prep for the North Dakota Open? Like, is it Sunday North Dakota Open, Monday after you're like, all right, let's put together another field, or what's your break time as a tournament director?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. So the tournament wraps up Sunday. There's always things to do to put the ribbon on the event. That probably takes me through that next week or so after the tournament. And then we'll have a wrap-up meeting probably within the next couple of weeks, and we start planning for the next one. And so in some ways, I'm doing something every month for the North Dakota Open. But we have a great committee. North Dakota Open Foundation members, many of those are members of Fargo Country Club. We have Bobcat, that team, their marketing team, Mary Seifert and her group are just great partners to work with. Bobcat's been a fantastic sponsor since 1983. And then the Village Family Service Center, that's the charity that benefits from it. And they coordinate all the volunteers, ball spotters, etc. Now, it's not like a PGA Tour event or a PGA Champions Tour event, but we have probably a couple hundred volunteers, over 100 volunteers. So a lot goes into pulling this off. It's a Dakota's Tour event, so that we have 65 professionals playing the event, and our total field's 208 players. We filled it up earlier than ever this year. We have 45 amateurs on the wait list, and we feel terrible, but we only have 208 spots. That's all we have. We have 20 professionals on the wait list, so that it's as popular as ever, maybe more popular than ever. But our key is, we have to get folks around the golf course. We only have so much sunlight.
Right.
And so 208 is a pretty big field. It still is a big field. So we play a Pro-Am on Friday. We do lose some of those players that just play the Pro-Am on Friday, but we still end up with about 180 players playing the next two rounds. Well, on Saturday, and then we make that cut.
Yep.
So it's a great tradition in our area for golf. And we feel good about being part of that, where we raise money for the Village Family Service Center. They touch so many lives in our community.
Yeah.
And to be a part of it, it's really why I kept doing it after I left the country club. Basically, I run the event for the foundation, North Dakota Open Foundation, and I really enjoy doing it. It's my way to give back a little bit and stay connected. So it takes a lot of people to do it. We are excited about our field. Matt Matisse, our defending champions, coming back and playing. If you recognize that last name, his I think his uncle was a tour player.
Oh, I didn't
know. Len Matisse, I think. Len. I think it's Len.
Len? It seems like an odd.
You could probably.
It would make more sense to Glenn.
Len. We'll have to look that up.
All right, we'll look it up.
And then, Andre Metzger's in the field. Andre's,
Couple tour events under his belt now.
Yeah, a chance to play a couple tour events, and so we'll have the guys that come back and are trying to work their way towards something else, maybe a Champions Tour event or a Champions Tour career eventually. So some older guys, and then there's younger guys that got out of college and they're trying to play golf professionally, work their way up, aspire to be maybe Canadian Tour, and then Corn Ferry beyond that. So it's fun. Folks can come out and watch. It's great golf. I know there's a lot going on in the community, but it's great golf to watch.
To me, it gives you an insight as to, like, if you want to see what it takes to get to the next level, right? I mean, they call it the mini tour stuff, but you see what it takes to get to the next level. I mean, there's guys they'll go out and shoot 65, 64, they'll tear it up here. And then just as a mental reminder that this is a mini tour event, right? I mean, it takes that much more to get to the next step. Which, what are these guys? What are they playing for outside of their purse, right? You guys take care of.
Bobcat gives them PGA Tours. It's Corn Ferry Tour qualifying. It's about $6,000. So it's a sponsorship where Bobcat's going to pay for you to get into Q school. There could be a relationship with the logo and whatnot, so that if you do make it, you're probably going to advertise for Bobcat. But if I was a young professional or aspiring professional, sign me up.
Well, and that's where, I mean, you touched on it. To get into what would be considered like the minor leagues, so we're mini tours. Then you get into Corn Ferry, which is like minor league. To get into that, you mentioned it. It's like $6,000 just to have a chance.
Yes, that's
just
amazing,
to have a chance. I mean, you could go home empty-handed, and you're out that money. You don't get anything back, and that's just the cold reality of golf and professional golf. And so for guys to get this opportunity to play for a sponsorship like this, I mean, that could potentially be life-changing. Right?
That's right.
I mean, you just roll that into the next step. And, that's what they're out there playing for. I encourage anyone to go out there and watch, whether it's you have someone you're following or you come out Sunday and watch the leaders, because who knows? Something might turn.
You never know. I got one other thing mentioned about that. Tuesday night, we're doing that junior clinic again.
Oh, sure.
On air, I'd probably ask you if you're available to help Dave Schultz with that.
On Tuesday
night, 6:00.
Okay.
Special this year. They don't know it, but we have a gift for the kids that are showing up. So it's in partnership with the Big Brother, Big Sister program through the Village Family Service Center. All the kids that show up for this are getting something pretty special. But in case somebody's listening, there's a small chance, but in case somebody's listening, I don't want to ruin what they're getting.
Oh, no.
It's going to be really cool. So it's fun to give back that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great week of golf. It's a great facility, and it's a great golf tournament too.
I have one more thing.
He's got another thing. Let's go.
This is unbelievable. Rob Eckern. Rob grew up in Fargo. He and Lee Swanson, they have a golf collection of trophies. It's the major championship trophies all in one spot, and they were all someone who won it. So it might be Jack's trophy from the Open Championship, Arnie's U.S. Open trophy. There's a match. So they have all four majors trophies in one collection. They have Arnold Palmer's game-used putter that he used in an Open. I don't know if it's an 8802 or whatever it was. They have a traveling exhibit, and they brought it to one other tournament. I think it was the Kansas Open. And what they're going to do, they're bringing it to Fargo Country Club during the North Dakota Open. Folks can view it. And then they're going to do a little putting challenge to raise money for the village.
Wow.
Using Arnie's putter.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I think it's going to be $10. They have a chance to make a 20-footer. If you make it, you get $100. And then that money that above and beyond what people win go to the village. So there'll be more information coming out. Look for. We'll be communicating that through social media, the hours and times. But Friday at the Country Club, everyone is welcome to come out and look at this exhibit. It's unlike anything in the world. It's pretty amazing.
All four major trophies,
one location
in Arnie's putter, and you get the chance to use Arnie's putter.
Correct.
That's really cool right there.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Friday, you said?
It's going to be Friday, probably 4:00 on. You can come out and view.
So watch for more info on that, because that's going to be pretty cool. That's going to be really
And you
cool.
can find that probably Bobcat North Dakota Open on social media via Twitter or Facebook, and probably the Bobcat Indy Open website.
Sure.
If you Google that, it'll be out there.
Well, awesome. It's going to be a great week of golf. That's next week. The clinic's Tuesday, and then tournament is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Correct.
Cut after Saturday. So I'll be playing. I hope to be playing on Sunday.
That'd be fun.
That'd be great. So we hope to see you guys out there, and maybe win $100 with Arnie's punter. Who knows? Give it a try.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun. All right, we're going to take a quick short break here. We got a lot to get into with some of the PGA stuff going on. We've got playoffs happening. We're going to dive into that. We're down to 50 now. I mean, we whittled that field down pretty quick. So this is going to be great golf being played the next couple weeks. And then once you know it, Tour Championship. So
and Ryder Cup.
And Ryder Cup. It's a big year for that too. So we'll get into that a little bit, but we'll be right back after this quick break. This segment brought to you by Sweet Shots Ladies League. That's right. It's that time of year again. We're starting it back up. Our Ladies League is going to be starting September 16th. Is that right?
Sounds right.
Sounds right. It's the Tuesdays again. We're doing Tuesday nights. Grab you and 3 of your best friends. Come on out and play a 4-person scramble, 9 holes each week. We're going to qualify the first week, and then from that week on, we've put you into flights, we'll call them, and then you're playing against people that are similar in your ability. So we've got tons of prizes to give away. It's going to be a great time and have a great social atmosphere. It's fun just to get away and have some fun. So again, signups are online at sweetshots.com, and that's Sweet Shots Ladies League. Let's have fun today.
It's a good time.
It's a great time. I know they had a lot of fun with it last year, and it was very successful. So we're looking to fill that up again, and it's going to be we've refined the process a little bit, and we're working on some sponsorships for them. So it's going to be a really, really good time for these ladies. So moving on here, we've got a lot of professional golf to cover, and because we've been away, a lot has happened since then. And so last week we had the first round of the playoffs, which is the FedEx Cup St. Jude Classic. Is it just FedEx? I don't know. It's FedEx Cup. Anyway, which, I mean, to cut to the short of it, Lucas Glover just wins 2 weeks in a row.
He's the first guy to do that in his 40s. I think I saw is Hale Irwin and Vijay Singh did
Vijay
it.
Singh.
Are the last 2 guys to win back-to-back weeks in their 40s.
Wow.
That's a stat.
That is a stat.
And, that guy was, I don't know, 100 and I'm just going to throw a number, 180th strokes gained
putting.
I mean, he was terrible.
I saw a clip of his missed putts inside 5 feet, and it gave me just the shivers.
Self-admitted he had the ups.
Yeah, it was like there was a 3-foot putt where the face started in the center of the golf ball. And by the time he made impact, it made impact on the heel of his putter.
Yeah.
And it's a tap in. I mean,
and he's such a skilled ball striker. He's been that way forever. I mean, he is a U.S. Open champion. So, I mean, he's had a great career.
Yeah.
But he has struggled with the putter. I saw it at the last decade, the number of strokes he's lost to the field, and he's in the top 4 all time in the last decade as far as shots lost, strokes lost, putting.
Would that be bottom 4?
Yeah, he's bottom 4. He's
not good.
He's like epically the worst. One of the 4 worst putters in the last decade on tour.
And he just won back-to-back weeks.
And he's making everything.
It's such a weird game. I mean, it's so weird.
So the putter he's using, I know Dave Booth down in our putting lab down there.
Yeah.
So what is this?
It's lab golf, and basically the skinny of it is they're trying to make a putter that is so stable that when you take your stroke, you have no option but to go straight back, straight through. So there's no, a lot of the times when we hit our putts and we make contact with the ball, because of our swing arc, when you make contact with the ball, the face will open or close, depending on where you hit it. If you don't hit it in the center of the face, it's going to open or close a little bit. So lab golf is making these putters with, they call it MOI, moment of inertia, which is such a high MOI that when you make contact with the golf ball, that face doesn't move.
Right. Okay.
So that ball is going to go where you're aimed every single time. You just have to make the proper stroke.
Yep. Now he's doing the broom handle, so he's got a little. It's long. Broomstick or whatever, and it's long, but he's not fixing it to his chest. No anchoring.
Yep.
Can't anchor. It's got to be free motion up there.
He's not Bernhard Langer out here.
Yeah. Well, there's some questionable stuff.
He's tucking.
So, good for him. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, who says he's not going to win a 3rd week in a row? The guy's on fire.
He keeps it rolling. I know, now he's got that motivation. I just saw a clip. So a reporter asked him if he had ever thought about the Ryder Cup team, making the Ryder Cup team. And he said, yeah, 15 minutes ago, and I really want to.
Yeah.
No, he's
moved up 16 spots. I took a look. Yeah, he's outside the number now. But I mean, if I was Captain Zach Johnson, you're
you have to take a look at him, right?
Yeah, where is he? He is he's moved up in a hurry. Yeah, he's 16th. He's moved up 19 spots. Yeah.
So
we're going to get to Ryder Cup now or later?
Let's do it now.
Okay.
We're here. Let's do it now.
So I'm super pumped for Ryder Cup because I'm actually going to be there.
In Rome. That's
just outside
awesome.
of Rome.
I didn't know they had golf over there.
Oh, yeah. You've been there.
I thought the Molinaris were the only products out of Italy.
Yeah, there haven't been many professional golfers out of Italy.
So
yeah.
break it down for us. How do teams get selected for the Ryder Cups? I know there's you're in if you're inside the top. Is it 6?
It's top 6. If you finish in the top 6 points, you're automatically in.
And this is U.S. and Europe, right? Is it same criteria?
Yeah. That's right. And then you have captain's picks after that. I think the rumor is, and just from what I've read and heard, I think it's gonna come down to about 4 picks. I think he's gonna take the top 8 guys as they finish. That's the word on the street. And then he's going to pick 4 guys. So right now, in that 8th spot, Spieth. Now that stuff could change.
Yep.
But you got to find a way to have Jordan Spieth on your Ryder Cup team. The guy is
historically is a very good match play player.
He is like the equivalent of Ian Poulter to them, right? I mean,
despise Ian Poulter.
He is going to make par or birdie from some crazy spots. So I heard who said it on the coverage, on the radio coverage. They said Spieth leads the tour in strokes gained stolen. That's brilliant, isn't it?
That's a great way to put it. I mean, the guy, he'll snap slice one off the tee. He's in 2 fairways over. He's like, yeah, I got that shot. He puts it to 15 feet and 2-putt par.
Yeah. Just steals it.
Even the Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits, what shot did he hit where he was on the cliff edge?
He did. Yeah, he hit it straight up in the air to have the imagination to hit that shot. So you look at guys, I think you got to find a way to get Spieth on your team. Some of these guys are Scotty Scheffler, Clark, Cantlay, Hart. Those guys have already secured. Well, Scheffler and Clark have secured their team, but Cantlay, he shows up this time of year.
He does.
The playoffs.
He does.
It's just kind of gross.
He's weirdly a favorite this week, and he just sneaks his way in.
Koepka's on this team right now. He's in the top 8.
Is that because of his major finishes? That's where he gets the
top
point.
6. He's in 5th, but there's a chance he'll get bumped. If the right guys play well, they're going to get points and they're going to bump Koepka. So do you make him a captain's pick?
Well, and that brings into the whole live deal too. I mean, you got Bryson who just did last week goes 61-58 at Greenbrier, right? Is that where? No, where were they?
Yeah, Greenbrier.
Yeah. To me, a big thing for Ryder Cup is recent form.
Yes, you want your hot guys.
It's got to be playing well. So, and this might be my hot take of the century, and I'll get right into it because we touched on it. But I think if it comes down to captain's picks and you got to start picking between guys, I think Bryson would be a better pick than Justin Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing better golf.
And that's
where you got the locker room, though, too. How's Bryson doing in the locker room?
Well, you put Koepka on the team and the locker room is just fine.
I think if you got Koepka, and those guys, oddly enough, were at odds back in.
Now they're buddy.
Now they'd be live guys together in that locker room, and maybe we're making a bigger deal out of it than. But I think DeChambeau alone in that locker room, I don't think would not be
super
good.
well liked. But yeah, from a golf standpoint, I think Bryson's a better pick than Justin Thomas. And there was a flash. It would have been 2 weeks ago now to get into the playoffs where Justin Thomas, he needed the birdie on 18 to get into the playoffs, left it short, and his chip hits the pin. And just talk about heartbreak there.
Yep.
And people were like, well, now you got to get, I just don't think that's.
I think you're right. He bogeyed 17.
Yeah, those three days, 4 days to get into, it's not good enough to get you on the Ryder Cup team after the
I agree with
half year that you had.
I agree with you. And you watched him at the 3M.
I did.
Open,
I've got videos of his putting practice. He missed the cut and he was out practicing. And we've all been there. We've all had the days where it's just like, all right, I'm going to just sit here and hit 5-foot putts and they're going to go in. My confidence is going to skyrocket. And you set the first 3 down, you miss 2 out of the first 3, and then you just are hopeless. And that's almost exactly what happened to Justin Thomas, where it was like he was practicing, but he couldn't make anything. And you could just see it in his face. He just wasn't.
Almost disbelief that these putts aren't going in.
Yep. So he made a few putter changes. He went to the long 30, it had to be a 38, 39 inch, and then went back to his short putter, which he used that week before.
But wasn't that cut like low? Because wasn't he a couple under, 2 or 3 under, and he missed the cut?
He missed it by 1. Yeah. That's TPC Twin Cities. It's always ridiculously low there. You have to make birdies, and it's not like they set a golf course up impossible. So for a guy like his caliber, you would think he's going to make. And that's I was joking that week because the people that we were standing with, they were like, "Geez, I really didn't think a guy like Justin Thomas would hang around." And I said, well, he probably rented his Airbnb for the full week thinking he's going to make the cut at a place like this,
Yep.
So he's here anyway. So, yeah, that'd be my hot take. Bryson over JT right now because I think recent form's got to be key for a captain's pick.
So then you got to put Lucas Glover on this team.
You would have to make a very serious case. I'd be interested looking at how he plays this week. If he drops off, he's a little shaky.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if he has another solid to really good week, I don't know how you keep him off the team.
So some of the bubble boys, you got Schauffele, Spieth, Young, Morikawa, Bradley, Sam Burns, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, 13th and 14th. How about a guy like Ricky Fowler? Has he done enough?
I think his recent form is better than Justin Thomas.
Yes.
I would argue that. Yeah. I will say, here's my other theory too, is that, so I don't know if you caught any of this a while back, but they called themselves the spring break crew. There's Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, and Smiley Kaufman.
Yep.
And it seems like always one guy in that group is playing poorly.
I agree with you.
One guy. Now, Smiley, he jumped ship, and he's now on course reporter.
He's got a show on XM radio.
Yep. So he's doing fine. So between Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, and Ricky Fowler, one of those guys at any time is playing poorly.
That's been the case the last 4 years or so.
It's been Ricky Fowler. He's been the outside boy. Before that, it was Spieth.
He got it back.
And before Jordan Spieth was Justin Thomas. That was before Justin Thomas won any majors. And so he was feeling that's what Full Swing dove into when they caught him in the majors. So you can, at any given time,
Interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Well. So that's that's my conspiracy theory.
Hey, a couple other guys here. Tony Finau. Hoagie's got himself. He's 26th. He was early on
looking really good.
He was looking good.
Well, he had a great first
pre-June.
Yeah, he had a great first half of the year.
Yes, he did.
Now, I did see he's got like a less than 1% chance to make the Tour Championship right now. I think he needs a top 5 finish this week to get in. But doesn't take away. He's had a great year.
Absolutely.
He's awesome. I don't hate a Tony Finau pick. He's been there before, and he bombs it. I don't hate it. I think there's probably more secure picks.
Yeah, there are. Yep, that's too bad because and these guys, they've all had good years. They're top 25, top 30 years.
Right.
But you need, and actually Ryder Cup is accumulation of 2 years points for Ryder Cup.
Yeah, because it's every other.
Yeah, but that's how elite these guys are. That's how good they are. Tom birdied his last 3 to get into this week's event.
BMW.
Right?
I mean, it was crunch time. And then you talk about the doors that open up by getting into this week, by getting to the BMW. So top 50. Now he gets into all of they changed the names. So they're not elevated anymore. They're premier.
That's a whole nother show.
Designated. Yeah, whatever. But I mean, now he's in those events with purses that, I mean, you take top 5, you're making $1 million or something like that. Just absurd money that they're giving away for these events if you play well. And he's got the chance to go play in those, which is awesome.
Yeah,
because he goes birdie, birdie, birdie to finish.
What does a finish like that, birdie, 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 does that carry over to this week? Do you think, as a player?
You would have to think, and at least confidence wise, because you you can do that. If you can go birdie, 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 I mean, your game is there, right? You don't just
the last 3 holes you needed to do it. He does it.
He does it.
Can he parlay that? Does he carry that momentum? Is it enough?
It's a huge uphill battle because, again, it's not just like 50 guys that decided they were going to sign up for this tournament.
The best of the best.
It's 50 of the top players on the PGA Tour. So he's got a huge uphill battle to finish top 5. Golf's a game where you just got to get hot at the right time.
Yep.
You know, and that's how he won his first tournament. And I think he could potentially parlay that, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? You got to be, I think at this course, you know, driving accuracy is one of the stronger perks because I think they can get this course set up pretty nasty.
It's in Chicago area,
Yes,
I believe.
I think so.
The Windy City.
Olympia Fields.
Are we going to go over our teams here? Or is that where we're at?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you got anything else to touch on from last week.
No, it's just a great time to watch PGA Tour, you know, as they go through these playoffs. And I wasn't a fan initially, but now that they've slid this up to kind of get ahead of golf or football,
Yep.
I'm sorry, the football season's right around the corner. I kind of like that because they can be the focus sport for a little bit. There's this lull right now. And to get it done before Ryder Cup, I think that makes sense.
Yep.
And Ryder Cup's end of September. I want to do a live remote from the cup.
Okay.
With the
yeah,
time
we're gonna
change.
have to figure out how that works, but yeah, we can make it work.
See if I can
Yeah.
get press credentials.
That'd be great. You
I
probably
should put in for those.
You probably missed the deadline.
You think
but
I did?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. But yeah, getting into this week, we're going BMW Championship at Olympia Fields, and I think does this one rotate? Because are they back now? I think I saw the last time it was here was 2020.
I don't know that.
I thought so, but they this golf course it depends on how they set it up. They can set it up as hard as they want to, and it's one of the hardest courses on tour, or they've just kind of got it middle of the road. But from what I'm looking at, I mean, it looks like obviously your heavy favorites are the Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler.
No surprises there.
No surprises. John Rahm, right? I mean, nothing that's gonna really kind of throw a wrench into some people's models. But what really stuck out to me, and I gotta find it again, was one model that I looked at, and it's the if you go on, I use Data Golf, and most of it is free. Their course fit tool, and you look at Olympia Fields, the North Course, and it gives you a nice little graph based on strengths of the golf course and what you got to be good at. Someone that jumps out to me and is second in matching this golf course.
Criteria, what you need.
Yep, their strengths match this golf course is Byung-Hun An.
He's on your team.
He is on my team. Thanks for spoiling that. But he is second. Statistically, his game fits this course really well. Second behind Rory McIlroy.
Oh, that's a good stat. Or good little...
Yeah, a little nugget there.
And that's on Golf Stat?
Nope, that is Data Golf.
Oh, Data Golf.
Yep. So not everything on here is free. If you need the full, unlock everything, you got to pay a membership, do all that. But that was a little nugget that I found that just it matches up really well with his game, and he's 7,500, I think. So
good value,
great value, and that's where like these events, similar to the elevated events or the premier, whatever, you can find value low. You can find a guy that might have a good week.
That's what I found. It wasn't hard to make a quality team here.
Yep.
You got the best 50 guys. It's like, oh, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's at 7,600. I'll take him.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where, I think it might be a week that you go contrarian, and without Chuck here to do the full DraftKings breakdown, we might be speaking facts or fiction. Who knows? But I think it's a week to kind of go contrarian, where personally I'm staying away from the John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy.
Because all these guys can play.
All of them can play. They're there for a reason. I think with my team, I tried to get guys that were quote-unquote flyers, but they needed to have a good week to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Whether it's keep playing or Ryder Cup or whatever it is.
It's interesting because I kind of took the same approach. Kind of hot hand.
Yep.
I didn't go big names necessarily. I can tell you my team quick?
Yep, let's do it. Let's
get
into it.
So Cantley, the guy just plays great in the playoffs. He's kind of a cold fish to me, but losing in the playoff. I mean, he tugged that 3-wood, maybe 3 feet. If
Well, he
it's
was
a different
there.
story.
He was
but,
right there.
Then I put Lucas Glover on my team. Until he loses. Yeah. I mean, he's fantastic.
Might as well.
Brian Harmon.
He's lefty.
Yep. And then I went Hoagie. I say he's going to carry it over. He was such a good value.
He was like, low sevens, wasn't he?
No, he's like 5,700. He was the third.
He was not 57.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Justin Rose.
Yep.
Horse history. And then Cam Young.
Bomber.
Yep. Bombs it.
Yep. I do like going back to your Cantlay pick. He's got to play. He's playing for the Ryder Cup spot too.
Yes.
If he wants to get on the Ryder Cup team, so he's got a little bit to play for there. I guess all those guys do, but a little extra incentive there. So, yeah, my team on top of that, I also went the Cantlay route. I think he plays well again. Tom Kim, he had a great week last week. I think he's kind of finding his stride. I went Matt Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
Little wild card there. I don't really have any stats on that. I just kind of needed to fill a spot there at that point. Justin Rose, like you said, course history. And then again, I went the Byung Hung On, just based on the statistical model there, and rounded it out with Emiliano Grillo. I think he had a couple good weeks leading up to the playoffs, got into the playoffs, and he just kind of keep parlaying that. I think he'll round up the bottom end there and hopefully make a couple birdies. So
he had a win this summer.
He did. Yeah, he
and it was really neat because he was in the playoff, right?
Yep.
And wasn't he hanging out with some little kids and let him hit his clubs?
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, he was just like waiting for him, and the kid was watching him. He's like, "Come here, come hit some clubs."
That's
and
pretty cool.
Kid was left-handed, so he's like making these left-handed. His grip was wrong, and he's like, "Oh, you're left-handed." So
that's pretty cool.
Well, that was good. I mean, it's good to be back in the saddle here again and knock off a little bit of rust, but it's going to be a good week for golf. It's going to be a great week next week. I'm excited. Hopefully we're going to get, as you call her, Forward Tees Kalen on the show.
Kalen Dolby at Detroit Country Club. They've got a fundraising event we're going to talk to her about. Excited for that.
Yep.
There's a lot coming this fall with some events. We've got a program we're co-sponsoring with Dakota Magic Casino coming up the 17th, 18th, 19th of September.
There we go.
It's Sunday afternoon, Monday morning. So we'll get word out about that. There's a lot going on. It's fun to be back, and it'd be good to got to get Chuck back in here so we can beat him up on fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
That was the part I missed, was just kicking your guys' butt every week. So that's all we got for today. Thanks for joining us here. Stick around. We got plenty more coming down the pipe. We're going to try and do this a little more regularly now as things quiet down. So thanks again for listening. We'll catch you next week.